Sorry, folks. I've just about reached my breaking point with the
pandemic panic
that forces you to do things against your will and shames you for not abiding by the edicts set upon us by those in power who, ironically, don't really give a damn whether you live or die. Well, that is unless they can blame it on President Donald Trump. In that case, they care so much about your well-being. They care to the point they constantly change their stories on what is or what isn't needed to slow the spread, all the while making decisions that contribute to the most deaths, then turning around, lying about ever making said decisions, just so that they can eventually write books about their leadership. Enough is enough. They want to play this game? Well, it's time to call out the real murderers of 2020, the media. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me once again for another edition of Things That Need to Be Said for MRC-TV. I'm Nick Kangadis. You probably thought I was going to call out the politicians or the left in general, but instead, the media, who I try to avoid calling the enemy of the people because there's a lot that goes with that distinction. But they are, in fact, the enemy of the people. The difference between me and most of the leftist radical media is that I'll never call for them to be silenced, because at least we know where they stand when we get to hear the nonsense that comes from those outlets, and it's pretty much all of them now. From the beginning of this thing, now affectionately known as the Coof in social media circles to avoid censorship, we've been given conflicting story after conflicting story about wearing masks, not wearing masks, social distancing, physical distancing, washing your hands, using hand sanitizer, wearing face shields, standing in pre-approved arbitrarily chosen spots on the floor, which means where you can or can't stand, only 2 people on an elevator at a time, no more than 10 people in a gathering, no more than 6 people in a gathering, no religious gatherings, but peaceful protests are perfectly okay. Was that enough to make you want to rupture your eardrums? Because I'm sure as hell sick of the doublespeak from the media, of which I include all of these doctors and experts. Someone that I watch for insight, who I can't remember at this particular moment, brought up a very good point from the view of someone in the UK, but that viewpoint could apply here. The doctors and nurses who work on sick patients deserve our thanks. But from the very beginning, we were told that the doctors and nurses were going to be overwhelmed, that we needed extra facilities in order to alleviate the strain on hospitals. The media was doing everything they could to deflect from what is typically done during any pandemic: isolate the sick away from the healthy. Instead, what did we do? We isolated everyone. What we shouldn't have done, which was in part the fault of the media for creating a pandemic of panic and anxiety, is shut down our society. It's well past time that we completely, and I'm not mincing words here, completely open everything back up. How much of the middle class needs to die before the media understands the overarching problem that they've facilitated? How many small businesses and fairly well-known businesses need to shut down permanently in order for the people to say, like I have, enough is enough? The media cares not one bit about informing the people with any level of accuracy. Just ask their current martyr, Hunter Biden. And when I say media, I include social media, because far-left political organizations like Facebook and Twitter also have been complicit in feeding the radical media's narrative. They have consistently pushed the opinions of experts from China's seemingly bought and paid for World Health Organization. YouTube is no better, with their censorship of anything that could be considered critical of the pre-approved experts. Finally, let's look at their treatment of Trump. The man should be handed the Nobel Peace Prize for not losing his friggin' mind on these media outlets for their constant narrative that Trump is responsible for people dying during the Coof. No rational person, which is a dwindling demographic, by the way, wants anyone else to die, especially from a disease provided to the world by the communist government in China. All I'm going to say about China directly is that they need to be held to account, and you can take that however you'd like. It shouldn't be any kind of surprise that the media proclaimed Trump as racist when he shut down travel to the US from China. Remember? Nancy Pelosi and other examples of the word idiot told people to go to Chinatown.
Come to Chinatown. Here we are. We're, again, careful, safe, and come join us.
The rest of the months since, whatever Trump says publicly during press conferences, the media not only bashes, but actively tells people to go out and do the opposite. Haven't we had enough of this media? Isn't a century of the far left monopoly on news enough? Have we ever had unbiased news in this country? And don't tell me Walter Cronkite, because that's a lie. Just watch his Vietnam coverage. What did he always say?
And that's the way it is.
And that's the way it is. I'm now convinced that he didn't mean that what he was reporting was the plain truth news. He said, that's the way it is, because whether you liked it or not, that was the report that they're going to give you, and you should be grateful that you're even getting it. The poisoned apple doesn't fall far from the tree, because I'd really like to know the last time that the media gave us the absolute truth about anything, let alone the Coof. I'm supposed to believe everything that a societal entity like the media tells me, even though the people consistently say that they don't trust the media? That's the information I'm supposed to follow on anything, let alone the Coof?
Come on, man.
It's funny. You know, when it comes to the Coof, the media likes to blame it on a person as if they're using it for their own personal gain. But at the same time, these are the same people who will blame a mass shooting on a gun instead of the person wielding the weapon. Maybe they simply don't apply the same standard to both situations, because those holding the weapon that is the Coof were simply made in China. Am I losing it? Am I making any sense? I leave that determination up to you, because you're the ones watching. Let me know in the comments, where I do read most of them and respond to some. Oh, and let's hashtag dump Twitter. Follow me on Parler. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a share and a thumbs up. Those are the two best ways to let us know you want us to keep these videos coming. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so that they might actually let you know when MRC-TV comes out with a new video if it hasn't been taken down yet. Like us on Facebook and check out our work on MRCTV.org. For MRC-TV, I'm Nick Kangadis.